Hey everyone, it's Kirk McLean here, and you're watching Clay's Canucks Commentary.
Hey Canucks fans, and welcome to Clay's Canucks Commentary Live, presented to you by Van City Experts Real Estate. I'm your host, Clay, Emo Canuck Clay, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take for Monday night, March the 10th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Appreciate all of you being here tonight on this Monday night. No Canucks After Dark once again tonight, as I think Parker had a hockey game. So for a third straight week, we are doing Canucks After Dark tomorrow night. That's Tuesday night. That'll be at 10:15 or so. Give me a chance to get home from bowling and give you a chance to absorb, reflect upon, hopefully what will be a Canucks win tomorrow night. So welcome everyone. Hope you are doing well, and let's get going. Moderators, do what you need to do to keep this a safe and respectful place. Members of Legends, Hall of Fame, and franchise members, thanks for your support. And to everyone else, no matter where you're watching from, whether in my beautiful neighborhood of Steveston and Richmond, in the city, lower mainland, province, country, continent, or around the world, thank you for being here. You know that I know that you could be watching anyone else, doing anything else, getting ready for work, school, or bed, or all three. But the fact that you are here with me, know how much I always appreciate you and how much I never, ever take you for granted. So this is how you get involved tonight. Lots of interesting, wonderful. Japan 4, nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. You got the game coming up this weekend, which is pretty cool. Some saying like the stream. Someone said I was late. Yeah, easy there. You can give me a minute or two grace period. Which computer is running the stream? Same computer. I went to my task manager and nothing was happening. So we'll see what happens tonight. Plus, I'm not doing a lot of sharing, so we'll see what happens. And yeah, I will talk about. There's a certain motivation behind why I asked the question that I did, and I'll get to that in a second. But let's do this. Let's do this for sure. Let's start off by telling you how you get involved. You can subscribe to the channel, get active in the chat section, get notified of my videos every single day. You can like the video, like the fact that we're together, like the fact that the Canucks are still fighting for a playoff spot, like the fact that, what else can we like? The fact that we are continuing to build a wonderful Canucks community, and like the fact that the Montreal Canadiens are in town. And I still have a couple pairs of tickets. I was able to move some today, but I still have a couple pairs of tickets. If you're interested, email me, canuckclay@gmail.com. It'll be the cheapest that you'll ever have a chance to go to a Montreal Canadiens versus Vancouver Canucks game. So email me, but more importantly, canuckclay@gmail.com if you're interested in tickets. But more importantly, like the stream, like the fact that we're together tonight. You can leave a donation, get the donation train out of the station. Last night was funny. It took me to go completely dark, Clay After Dark, for me to get, Swervin' Irvin does it right away. I'll get to that in a second. You can gift a membership, buy your own membership, upgrade your membership, use your monthly membership message. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. Let's get to the first donation of the night. Let's give some love to Swervin' Irvin in the chat. My dad had a bit of a medical scare on the weekend, but here's a bit of hype because he is stable now. Well, thank God for that, Irvin. I hope everything is okay. And the fact that you are here and the fact that you are saying that he's more stable now, that is great news. But I hope whatever got to him doesn't happen again. So prayers for your father, Swervin Irvin. Prayers for Father Irvin, and thank you for the donation. Let's give some love to Irvin in the chat for the $7 donation. I remember last night I just finished talking about how I thought that I was not necessarily the best streamer in terms of technical stuff, obviously, but it was kind of ironic how I was talking about, I think I'm pretty confident in the way I can speak, the way I can think, the way I can anticipate what I'm going to say, the way I can read questions, read answers, decide what I'm going to display while I'm deciding about what I'm going to say, while I'm deciding where I'm going to go next, and then boom, my screen crapped out like right after I finished saying all of that. It's interesting. Selena, I usually don't sell single tickets, but I do have someone that would likely buy a single ticket but I told this person that it's unlikely because the last 2 games I've been stuck with a single ticket because I let someone buy either 3 or 1, and then I basically had to give the second one away. So it's not my preferred way of doing it. But Selena, maybe email me or text me after the stream, and we can figure it all out. Oh, we got 3 donuts. That's awesome, Shannon. I'll like that. Nice to see you, Carol. I know you got your surgery on Wednesday. Hope you're doing well. Okay. This is what I want to lead with tonight. Actually, before what happened tonight, nothing that affected the Canucks playoff chance. Oh, no. Toronto beat Utah 4-3 in a shootout. So that means Utah got 1 point, but didn't get both. So let's just look at the standings. This is going to be the only thing I share. So let's see if it completely destroys my stream and if I get all laggy. And if I get all laggy because of this, then I really got to fix something going forward. But I'll take my chances even just for 2 minutes or so. So this is the Western Conference playoff standings. Don't worry about Minnesota because we're not going to catch them. All we got to look at is the second wildcard spot. Calgary has 70. We have 69. Still 63 games played for both teams. And then right behind us, St. Louis. St. Louis is tied with us, but we have 2 more games in hand on them. And Utah gets the 1 point. So they are two points behind with only a game in hand. So you can see right there, Calgary 70-63, Vancouver 69-63, St. Louis 69-65, Utah 67-64. I still think it's going to be between us and Calgary going forward, fighting for that playoff spot. But if you end up as wildcard 2, as of now, you're going to face the Winnipeg Jets. So this is why I asked the question. And I want to expand. Originally, I was simply going to ask, do you want the Canucks to make the playoffs? But I don't think that was a fair, that question was too basic, because even if you don't think it's best for the team, you still might answer, yes, I want them to make the playoffs, because playoff hockey is fun and it captures the imagination of the fan base. So then I tried to kind of at least ask it in a different way, but I just didn't want to say, do you think it's good if the Canucks make the playoffs? Yes or no. So I tried to expand it into 4 different answers. I said, is making the playoffs the best thing for the Canucks? And 42% is you said, yes, the players deserve a shot. 21% says, no, it gives management false hope. 18% says, yes, anything can happen once in. And 18% said, no, we're going to get smoked in the first round. So here's the, and hey, Mark from Game Over, he makes a really good point. And, you know, I can't say a lot in just when you have only 30 or 40 characters in every option. But Mark makes a good point. To answer the question, it's a tough sell to tell a locker room, we're not going to try to win anymore. Let's just focus on next season. These guys are pros, AKA they're all competitive. And that was basically the option that won the poll. Yes, the players deserve a shot. So I want to talk about all 4 aspects. And then I'm going to really just go into my Mitchell sponsor read right after it. And then spend the second half, more like the second third, the last 2/3 of the show, just reading your comments about this particular topic. So hang on to your thoughts, especially if you want me to read them out, or you're just gonna have to copy and paste or retype them in the second half of the show. And yes, all are true in a way. All actually can be true. All can be true. These aren't mutually exclusive, but I wanted to see what you guys thought. Because even if you strip away the poll question, you might say in your heart of hearts, yes, as a fan, I want them to make the playoffs, and anything can happen. And I want the guys like the Quinn Hugheses and the Brock Besters and the Elias Petterssons and Thatcher Demkos and Kevin Lankinens of the world to have an honest shot at making a run in the playoffs, because anything can happen, i.e. St. Louis lose 2019. I get that. And those 2 sentiments were reflected in my poll question. But I also get someone saying, no, I actually would prefer them not to make the playoffs, because we're just going to get smoked in the first round. Sure, it'll get Aquilini $2 or $3 million of playoff revenue, but we're going to get smoked in the first round. And all for what? Just to compromise, a good draft position, even though it's not the strongest draft. And then the other reason is, and it gives, if you get in the first round, you win a couple games, maybe management thinks we're closer than we actually are. Although Irvin does say the management getting false hope is more of a hindsight thing. Yes and no. I hear what you're saying, but I also think it might affect some of the decisions they make this summer, and that's the tricky one. So I'm going to talk about each one of these elements very quickly. Then I want to talk about the Brock Besser thing, the Quinn Hughes thing, the Thatcher Demko thing, and then I'll get it turn it over to all of you. So 42% of you are saying yes, the players deserve a shot, and this, no surprise that this won the poll, because I think we Canucks fans, we're loyal to the team and we're loyal to the players on the team, more so than the ownership, more so than the management. I would dare say even more than the coaches. We like the players who make up our team and we want to see them succeed. So no surprise that that was the leader of the poll, that yes, give these players a chance, especially the players like Garland and Pettersson, even though he hasn't been great, Besser and DeBrusque, all of them, Hronek, Demko, Lankinen, everyone who's been here for the whole year and who's really gone through a very dramatic and tumultuous year, you want them to do well. So I get why that won the poll. Second was no, it gives management false hope. And yeah, I hear what you're saying, Irvin, about hindsight, but I also think it could really affect any decisions they make in the summer. Oh, we don't have to spend this much money. We're pretty good. We only have to tinker here, as opposed to really stepping back, saying, okay, we better trade. Well, it's kind of hard to trade Besser now, because why would someone trade for him when they know they can just make a run for him as a free agent, unless it's a sign and trade? And I talked about that last night. So would winning a playoff round or two, or one for sure, or maybe a few games, would it give management a little bit a false hope or false impression? Then the one that came in third, actually they're tied 3 and 4, was anything can happen when you're once in. And I get that. Quinn Hughes could be a monster. Our goaltending tandem of Demko and Lankinen could go on a hot run. Pettersson could find his game. We might get some really important secondary scoring from guys like Garland and Hedo, and then maybe DeBrusque and Besser wake up along with Petey. So yes, a lot of things have to go right, but they can go right, like St. Louis catching lightning in a bottle and taking it all the way to the Stanley Cup. So I have a bit of time for that notion as well. And then the last one was no, we'll get smoked in the first round. And I think we got to be honest about that. Winnipeg has they're the best team in the league right now, and we don't match up well against them. So it's not only that Winnipeg is a good team against everyone else, they're really good against us. I don't see us winning in Winnipeg, and I don't see us taking 3 games at home from Winnipeg. So I think that's a really tough matchup. If somehow the Pacific Division champion catches Winnipeg, which I doubt, or even less likely, we somehow get the first wild card spot, then we're playing against the Pacific Division champion, and that's Vegas. I don't like that matchup, but I don't mind the Edmonton matchup. But Edmonton's kind of faltering, and Vegas might likely win the division. So a couple things have to happen. We'd have to get into the the first wild card spot, and then Edmonton would have to switch places with Vegas and take the division. And then I think I think you'd agree, we have a better shot. We've shown we have a better shot against Edmonton than we do against Vegas. I think the Vegas matchup for us is just as tough as the Winnipeg matchup. So you don't want to play Winnipeg. You don't want to play Vegas. So you might get smoked in the first round. But you might say, Clay, I don't care about any of that. I don't care. I don't care about management. I don't care about getting smoked. All I care about is playoff hockey, because that galvanizes the city, that unites the city, that gets me excited as a hockey fan. And I either want to be in the arena or watch the games at home when they mean something. And I would give you all the time of day if that was your biggest sentiment. So all those things, I want to hear from you in a few minutes. Which sentiment, which reason, which argument prevails for you? Which is the one that you're going to stand by as the most important one? So that's really, really important to consider. Finally, a couple things from today. There is no practice today. Quinn Hughes skated, Thatcher Demko skated, Rick Tocchet. He seems exasperated every time he answers the same questions from Jay Januar. Farhan Lalji, and then Thomas Drance, Jeff Patterson, Brendan Batchelor, all these guys asking the same type of questions about Hughes and Demko. And he says maybe Hughes is ready for not tomorrow, but maybe the back-to-back on the weekend. Maybe Demko's ready by next week. But Tocchet just simply doesn't know. So it's kind of like the same old story every day. We just kind of hope that Hughes and Demko are making strides, because we need them, especially if we're going to push for the playoffs, like most of us want to happen. And then I guess the biggest story today, and coming from yesterday, was the fact that Brock Besser wasn't wearing an A. He went to Marcus Pettersson, and Farhan Lalji was the one. He likes to stir up things. He was the one who basically said, "I can't believe that's going to a guy who's only been here for 5 weeks. What a bad look." So without prompting, Rick Tocchet opened his media availability today by basically saying, defending their reasoning, and he didn't name Farhan by name, but he says he was basically intimating that some people in the media stir things up unnecessarily. So what he basically said, I gotta stop saying basically, what Rick Tocchet said was that many guys have worn the A this season, that it had nothing to do with unhappiness with Brock Besser, or nothing to do with the fact that he's playing poorly, or that they couldn't trade him, or that they didn't get a first round offer. Although the rumor is that Carolina came in with a late first round offer for Besser. It was simply about moving the A around, and Rick Tocchet seemed really, really, really upset by it. Not upset. He was upset by the notion that he had to spend time and energy talking about it. Now, no one asked him about it, because he started talking about it before anyone could ask a question. Was someone going to ask about, hey, why did you take the A off Besser last night? I don't know. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't. But the fact that Rick Tocchet decided he had to say something about it goes to show that either the Canucks communication staff are all over that kind of thing, and they are paying attention to what media are saying, or just news got to Tocchet. And I love what Mark said. They rotate the A, nothing to do with Besser's game. Mark says a different Mark is saying the team is testing out I think they're actually associate captains, not assistant captains, or alternate captains. Regardless, assistant, associate, alternate, doesn't matter. And moving things around. There's only 2 A's per game, but lots of teams rotate A's throughout the season. There we go. So, I've met Farhan Lalji a couple of times. He's great to me, but I definitely know that he's one of the guys who's not afraid to say stuff to get things going for sure. All right, friends, let me do my mid-show sponsor read, and then I will turn it over to all of you. I start off by always thanking my primary sponsor, Jason Lim of Van City Experts. Thank you to my channel sponsor, Jason Lim of Van City Experts Real Estate. At Van City Experts, their experience, knowledge, and expertise can serve you well in navigating through the real estate market, and will help you to choose the best home or condo in the greater Vancouver area that best suits your and your family's needs. Shout out to my secondary sponsor, Coach Patrick Liu, weight loss coach. You can check him out at coachpatrickliu.com/clay and receive a free 5-day workout when you do so. Thank you to Gassy Jet Art Maker, that fine artwork. And thank you to Vessi Footwear. Use the link tinyurl.com/VessiClay and receive a free pair of socks off your next purchase of Vessi shoes. Thanks to everyone who has purchased Canuck Clay merch. You can do so at canuckclay.threadless.com. Shannon, if you're listening, send me your tracking number from DHL if that's indeed who's shipping your stuff out, and I can try to help you track your shipment down. Ways that you can get involved. A reminder, you can subscribe to the channel. You can like the video. You can leave a donation like Swervin Irvin has done. You can gift a membership, buy your own membership, upgrade your own membership, use your monthly membership message. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. And don't forget my shows this week, my remaining shows this week for the remainder of this week. Tomorrow will be Canucks After Dark, a third straight Tuesday. That'll be at 10:15 after my bowling, so I won't do my own show because I have my prayer hour at midnight. Then CCC Wednesday at 11. That'll be a post game, Vancouver Calgary. And then Thursday will be a members only stream at 11 p.m. Also, my lovely wife's birthday. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get her on the stream, but I'll make sure that however we're celebrating that I'm home by 11 p.m. I'm sure we will be, because Gail still has to teach the very next day. And if you can probably figure out how old she is, you know how old I turned last year. And if you know that she's 1 year younger than I am, you guys are smart enough. You guys can probably figure it all out. Okay. And lastly, don't forget. I have a couple pairs of tickets for tomorrow night's game. Email me canuckclay@gmail.com and we will go from there. Irvin, probably not. I like to do the open house every second member stream. Every member stream, not tiring, but I want to keep it relatively fresh. So might do a giveaway. Might bring. It depends. We'll see. But I doubt it'll be open house this week. And no need to apologize, Mark. You cheer for who you want to. I feel like Demmer would clean up. Boo, Mark, boo. Gail's turning 40. I'm turning 26. Very good. I'm not going tomorrow. Tuesday. I can't go to games on Tuesday nights and Wednesday nights. Tuesday nights, I have bowling, and Wednesday nights, I have church. Hughes must have studied some Canucks history when given the captaincy. He also talked with all former Canucks captains. That would be very wise. For me, the Canucks making the playoffs is twofold. I'd like them to, but their inconsistent play, they most likely won't perform well. Plus, the team hasn't played healthy all season. Yeah, that's the thing, is how much damage are they really going to do? I only have tickets for the Upper Bowl this year, Daz Money. Waiting on a 1980s black skate. Sweet. Hughes, because he reads a lot. His brother Jack is amazing smart. Oh, I must have missed a question. What were you guys talking about? Anyways, who is the best anthem singer for the Vancouver Canucks home games? I do think Elizabeth Irving is great, but I will always be partial/biased to my really good friend Marie Huey. I have an autographed pick with Guy Lafleur. That is sweet. He was my favorite player growing up, the flowing locks. Donnelly is very good as well, but yes, probably won't be asked back. Hughes is a giant hockey nerd. Oh, by the way, you guys, Irvin, was it your recommendations? I bought it. Never boring. So I'm going to read this over spring break, even though I don't have spring break. I don't know why I'm saying that. But yes, I did buy Ed Willis's book. Burned, I've been a fan since I was a child. Uncle got me into the team. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he's still at Holy Family, Mark. Shannon. Okay. Send me, did you get a confirmation email from Threadless at all? At least saying, here's your order. Here's your confirmation of your order. Send me that. And if not, I'll try and poke around in the back end for sure. Yeah, I don't think they send by Canada Post, but unless Fangirl, that's how you got yours. Yeah, actually, I don't know. All I know is mine came through DHL the 3 times. Richard Loney was good. Clay is the boss at the CCC. You have to insist that the Canucks make the playoffs. I want them to make the playoffs ultimately, but I'm trying to be realistic too and temper my expectations if they actually get in. I met Elizabeth last Canucks game on Friday for the win versus Minnesota, and we got a photo. Yes, I saw that. That's great, Edison. That's awesome. I need to buy that book now, as long as we don't scowl at the book while you read it, but it's hard not to do. When's Easter? It's April this year. I don't know the exact date off the top of my head. I like Mark D. I met him down at the Kessler BX Roadhog game. Good guy. It's a shame, but I get why it happened. Kessler's hands are gigantic and Juice is much shorter than you think. All very, 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 very good insight. Snail mail. You might never get it. The merch has taken a while for sure. No lag during the screen share today. When you read it, you understand what I mean. I just read it about the lag. Oh, you're talking about the Ed Willis book. That is fine. I'm looking forward to reading it, actually, for sure. Oh, question. What's your ideal top 3 going to the latter part of the season? Top 3 what, Mark? Like colas or desserts? Or ask it again, Mark. My ideal top 3? Yeah, top 3 what? Can we talk about Roar by Katy Perry this stream? I like the song. We made a parody called Soar for the Seahawks. Rob, I would not do this answer justice, but I can't even do this answer justice. It depends on a whole bunch of things. Like, I should probably know this a little better than I do. If someone else can explain it, just look it up, Google it. How do they determine when Easter is? It has to do something with church calendar, world calendar, this calendar, that calendar. So it changes every single year. Rod the Bod blasted the Ranson deal. What did he say? And who's Rod the Bod? Tolopil beats out Sealaws for the backup position. Ooh, that's a hot take. A bit negative, but it's an honest book. Top 3 forward lines. I would put Pedersen with DeBrusk. No, I'd put Pedersen with Hoglander and Garland. And then I would put Hedel with DeBrusk and Besser. And then I'd put Suter, with Lekkerimäki and Garland. And Joshua. And you can have Sherwood, Bluger, and I'm missing someone, O'Connor maybe. Or maybe you could put O'Connor in the third line. I just don't, O'Connor's fast and Hedo's fast, but they get in the zone and they don't know what to do because they don't have the best hands or the best offensive touch. I keep Hedo in the top 6 only because he can move the puck and at least get the puck in the zone. But as I talked about last night, once he gets it in the zone, he doesn't really do a lot with it. So I think your top 6 has to be a mix of Petey, Hedo, Besser, DeBrusk, Garland. I would put a Hoglander in there because I think Hoglander plays better when he's in a top 6 role as opposed to a bottom 6. Easter's Ash Wednesday plus 40 days. Yes, but then how do they determine Ash Wednesday, right? Not that I want to meet Juice in Dark Alley. He cleaned my clock and give me the time while I wipe the blood off my chin, to coin a phrase. I like no singer, just the old-fashioned organ. That way no one turns into a pop song. Oh, hi, Shannon. Thank you for letting me know. I'll look at it later this week because I think I can contact them directly, Shannon. Maybe you can just email me and tell me when you ordered and how much you paid and what you ordered. And then I can try and match it up. Given the angst and division over the Canucks fan base still prevalent, do you think there's still an amount of Benning PTSD lingering? Yeah. Part of me says we got to move on. We can't keep blaming Benning, but there are still some marks of the whole buyout of OEL because of a move that Benning made. So I don't know. I don't like to use the term PTSD, but there's still remnants of Benning's rule for sure. Is it me, or have a lot of Canadian hockey fans have been more united since the whole United States debacle? So tough to say. I think the Four Nations had a lot to do with it more than the Trump and the 51st state thing. Clay, when can we make a Canucks song together this year? My mom would love it. I think those days are past, hoy hoy. I don't know if anyone wants to see 50-year-old Clay. Barely anyone will want to see 40-year-old Clay make those songs. I'm not sure 50-year-old Clay will cut anymore. Maria and I haven't done a song in a couple of years, so we'll see. It moves around more than a squirrel looking for nuts. What are we talking about, Mark? What moves around more? What were we talking about? Oh, Easter. When's Ty Young going to get a look? I don't know. How old is he? He must be like number 4 or 5 in our system now, right? I think we're going to beat Montreal. I think we're going to beat Calgary. And then we're going to split the home games this weekend against Chicago, Utah. I don't know why we can't beat both of them. So I think we're going to win 3 out of the next 4. And then we're going to get smoked by Winnipeg on Tuesday. Brindamore is rather broad. Gotcha. Yeah. Isn't there a rumor, or maybe it's true, that Ranton basically came in and said, I only want to play for 4 teams and you guys aren't one of them? Oh, here we go, Mark. Easter is based off of the first full moon after March 21st. It was based off of the March equinox. Okay. Hey, Skytrain Alfred. Nice to see you. Welcome. Does DeBrusk get 50 by the end of the season? No, because he's only at 22. There's no way he's getting 28 goals in 19 games. But he should get to 30. Off the top of your head, who are some legit top scorers available in off-season? Well, I went through some of the UFAs yesterday, and Mitch Marner is a UFA. He's the one that's a lot, at the top of a lot of lists. There's a lot of aging centers that are there that I didn't really that I was talking about yesterday that I don't really want to touch. But Mitch Marner, kind of goes to the top of my head, and basically anyone that was traded, who's a UFA, because there's no guarantee that they're going to sign off the top, sign for sure. I'm just trying to think of who else. I can look real quick because I looked this up yesterday. So the free agents for next year. How do I do this? Oh, free agents. Oh, no, I don't want Canucks free agents. I want everyone free agents. Unrestricted free agents. Marner, Duchesne, Nick Ehlers, John Tavares, Mikhail Granlund, Ryan Donato, Brad Marchand, Brock Nelson. Oh, there's a bunch right there. Something like the first Sunday after the first full moon after the vernal equinox. Exactly. I have no clue what you just said. Aren't people fooling themselves thinking that Drew O'Connor is going to develop? Dude is already 26. Yeah, he's fast, but is that all he is? Is 93 points to get a wildcard spot going to be hard for the Canucks without Joe Henry's involvement? Why? Yesterday, Dan, as you know, I outlined how they need to get to 92 points. They got to go 10, 6, and 3, and that gets you to 92 points. Without Joe Henry, I don't know. I still believe in the Canucks, even without Joe Henry. How sweet would it feel to see a Canadian team win the Stanley Cup this season to stick it to the man? You know, I don't want to let this whole Trump thing bias me. I'm not, am I bad when I say I actually don't care if a Canadian team wins the Stanley Cup? I really don't, as long as I just want it to be the Canucks. Brendan Moore blasted the Ranson deal saying he didn't even want to be here. Question why they even brought him in when he didn't want to stay. Oh, so Brendan Moore said it like that. So doesn't that put, a bit of tension between him and Eric Tulsky? Yeah. How long are we going to wait though? The Canucks have the least amount of Canadians. When Susie was traded, we now have 2. That's it. We only have 2 Canadians on our roster. That would make sense. Easter's on the 20th this year. Thank you. That Calgary is the proverbial 4-point game. It seems like the Canucks were winning when Quinn wasn't playing. I'm not saying that it should be ideal, but do you think it's sustainable for the Canucks to team like this for the last 19? No. They need more scoring punch. Our scoring, our offense is so anemic when Hughes isn't playing. So I don't think this is sustainable. I think we need him back for at least the last 10 of those 19 games, but probably sooner. Yeah, what a waste of that cap accrual. Like all that up and down, sending guys down to Abbotsford for a day or two just to get a couple $100,000 of savings, and we don't even use it. Do you think there's a chance PD and Besser can reunite and rekindle their magic they displayed when they played together earlier? Yeah, for some reason, that only lasted 1 or 2 seasons, and they don't jive that well. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I don't even know. It sounds like a disease to me. Vernal. I want Marchand from Florida if he gets let go. That would be crazy if Marchand came here. Dwayne the Brock Nelson. You're not bad, Clay. What was I saying? Oh, by saying I don't want a Canadian team to win. It doesn't matter to me. How do we make our team a real contender year after year? What would you do if you were at the helm of the team? What changes? I wouldn't have traded JT Miller. I would have, it must have been really bad because they knew what they were losing when they traded him. But I would think the defense is okay. I would pray for a good help for Demko and think that goaltending is okay. I would really, really look at restructuring the way our forwards are. I really would. I don't know. There's just not enough. I don't know how you do it, but there's just not a lot of offense there. A Canadian team winning doesn't mean Canada wins. I was happy when Florida won last season. They had a lot of Canadians, right? DeBrusk and Myers, only Canadians on the team. Thank you for that, Wuhan. Last time we scored 4+ in regulation was November 16th. Oh, that makes me sad. Is Demko the starter game 1 next season? If he's healthy, yes. But I guess that's what you're getting at, right? We have an expected goals of Q.8. What's Q.8? That sounds bad, whatever it is. Our offense looks more anemic without Hughes, which is ironic. Ha ha ha. Because poor Quinn looks like he needs the Popeye diet of spinach and only spinach. Yeah, I know more fans. They love Hughes still. We love him. We're so lucky to have him. But I know more and more people are getting worried about his durability. Considering we have Garland, DeBrusk, Dak, and a bunch of scrappy guys, why can't we just play crash the net? That's true. Too much perimeter play. That's true. The betting vibes around this team have returned even with this kick butt management team. Yep. Hey, Jarrett. Nice to see you. Blessings to you as well. What can we be positive about these days? I think the best part of our team right now, amazingly, might be our defense and our goaltending. If Demko's healthy, I still think even with Lankinen's new contract, Demko and Lankinen for under $10 million, that's still fine. And it gives us goaltending we don't have to really worry about as long as they're both healthy. Defense, with Marcus Pettersson and Elias Pettersson, I think those are two that's found money this season, especially in Elias Pettersson. So with Tom Verlander coming up and Victor Mancini showing some strides, I think our defense is set for the next few years. I really do. With Hughes, Hronik, Marcus Pettersson, DPD, Myers for 2 more years, and then Mancini and Verlander ready to step in. It's the forwards that need a lot of work. DeBrusque and Juleson are the Canadian players. Thank you, Edison. Any player you like that come to your head to replace JT Miller, i.e. Tavares? You know, I was looking at this list of unrestricted free agents, and it's tough to say, right? Because I don't want to spend $10, $11 million on the guy. I do like Nick Ehlers, but we're looking at centers. Donato's only 28 years old. So maybe that Sam Bennett, he'd be fun to have on this team. Giroux's too old. Jack Roslovic intrigues me a little bit. He only made 2.8 this year. Yeah, I don't know. No one screams, though, JT Miller replacement right there. Expected goals for 1.8. Expected goals against. Sorry. Expected goals for 1.83. Goals for 2.13. That's dead last. That's not good. That's not good. Oh, I like this breakdown. 9 Americans, 6 Swedes, 2 Latvians, 2 Czechs, 2 Canadians. Yeah, both Czechs are named Philip, and 1 Swiss and 1 Finn. Thank you. Who would I like to go after as a free agent this summer? Great question. I'm looking at the list right now. In terms of cap hit for this year, it goes Tavares, Marner, Ben, Burns, Orlov, Ekblad, 20-game suspension for him today. Provorov, Besser. Well, Besser's the 8th most highest paid free agent. Giroux, Jeff Petrie, Marchand, Taylor Hall. I like Nick Ehlers, but I think it's going to be expensive, just as expensive as Besser. Oh, man. There's not a lot here that I like, actually. Christian Dvorak. Sam Bennett, I like. Yeah. There's not a lot there. Admittedly. Myers born in Texas, but played for Team Canada when younger. Juleson is the other Canuck with DeBrusque. There we go. Other Canadian, yeah. Canucks. Hey, Tyler, Canucks would have been in better situation standings-wise this season had they stayed healthy. Of course. You say that about anyone, fangirl. But yes, it's really too bad. Do you think our 12 forwards are a better group than Calgary's at the moment? Yes, I do. Because of the upside. Can you see now Alvin do what Nonis wanted to do back in 2008? Trade the first round pick, trade a player, and UFA route. We don't have a Kuzmenko or Fabian Brunstrom type players. Oh, sorry. Trade the first round pick, trade a player, and UFA route. We don't have a Kuzmenko, Fabian Brunstrom type players. So you're saying find like a pro free agent? Is that what you're saying, Edmund? I'm not sure what you're asking there. Hockey pool, same. I'm winning my mom's, which is a big one, but I fell to second in my keeper pool, which sucks, and I'm doing really bad in my auction pool. Tavares or Bennett, I don't mind. Tyler Myers, American Canadian. Clay, if we don't re-sign Besser, won't our team get worse? Because I don't think Lecker is here. There, yes, but we do have the cap space that we would have had with Besser, so you could still, for instance, if Nick Ehlers was the same amount as Brock Besser, I'd say that's an improvement, right? So you can still improve. Will the Canucks have more than $13 million in cap on July 1st? Oh, they definitely will, especially if they don't re-sign Besser. Marchand, 6x6. A healthy Canucks lineup should be a playoff lock. I know, if they're healthy. You still think Alvin has something up his sleeve? That's fine. So you're talking about around draft time? Is that what you're saying? Trade away EP40, salary difference retention, and sign UFA Marner. Interesting. I don't know. Maybe I'm blind. I still have hope for PD. I really do. With how slow the trade deadline started, did anyone else just forget it was happening until you checked social media? No, I got up early in Kelowna just to follow it, only to be disappointed. Do you think we could have gotten Markey, PD, Drew O'Connor, and Hito in the 2024 offseason than the time we traded for them? And would that change the narrative? What is this season? Yeah, I don't know. Was Marcus Pettersson available at the time? Was Hito? I hear what you're saying is do it in the offseason when the prices aren't as high. Yeah, and then I guess the big question is, do you do all that with JT Miller still on the roster, or is that presuming that you trade Miller in the offseason too? Yeah, that's a good question. Alfred. I don't know. We have 14.7 on July 1st after the L'Oreal buyout. That's good. We should not focus too much on the playoffs. The way we're playing isn't great. Give it a week or two. Okay, we'll see. Yeah, only 19 games left. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much goodwill has management lost in your mind's eye? They lost a good 2 or 3 points by having the poor. Let's say they lost a 2 points. So where I'd give them a 7 or 8, now they're down to about a 6 for me. So 1 or 2 points. Good question. I don't think so, considering the Penguins were looking to sell him. He would have gotten traded at the deadline, Alfred. So, sorry, Mark, are you saying that we probably wouldn't have got Marcus Pettersson in the offseason? Marner has never not had more points than games played. Yeah, no, that's good. Marner's been a great player. He is a great player, for sure. For sure. Will the Canucks win the cup this century? You're giving me all the way until the year 2099? Yes. Yes, they will win a cup before the year goes 2100. None of us will be alive when it's 2100, but well, actually, maybe some of you will if you're like 5 years old right now. I would love signing Marner. How soon could we see non-playoff teams being eliminated from playoff contention? And playoff teams, I don't know the standings, but it's got to be now, because if they got 20, no, sorry, it's probably gonna be another week or two, because then there'll be 15 games left. If you win, you 30 points. So are there going to be teams 30 points out of a playoff spot? I think you're going to see clinchers before you're going to see teams completely eliminated, but it'll happen in the next 2 weeks, Fangirl. Marner doesn't show off for playoffs. Can you see us signing Marker? Is that what I said? Yeah, sign Marker. Like I think a Sharpie is only $1 or so, as opposed to tens of millions. What's the best place to eat at Rogers Arena? Well, I'm a big carve guy, Mark, but I also don't pay for my carve sandwiches, so I have a nice little connection in there. But I love carve sandwiches. That's my favorite. Roberto, nice to see you. How much do you think economics and tariffs affected ownership and the trade deadline? That's a really good question. I know it's been bantered about a little bit on some shows. I haven't really thought about it. I can't even qualify an answer. That's a great question. It'd be naive for me to say, "Oh no, it doesn't matter." Like because I'm sure there had to be a couple conversations, but we don't know for sure if Aquilini said pull back a little bit on spending, or if he said, "Don't worry about it, I'll cover whatever." Tariffs be darned. Kitchen is dope near Rogers. Okay. Did Quinn ever return your phone call from the other night? No. I'm going to give him 1 more week, so I'm not giving up hope. Oh, free beer is good to know. Best restaurant besides Rogers Arena to eat at pregame. Well, I like Marigami, the noodle place. That's 2 blocks from Rogers. I really like that one. Marigami Udon. The hockey guy will sign Expo whiteboard markers first round. Marner has 50 points in 57 playoff games. Yeah, that's not bad at all. I think he's more a victim of his team doesn't win a lot in the playoffs. Yeah. Quinn Hughes gave me his number. Roberto, you can drop yours as well. Oh, a ramen place. I like that, Mark. I like that. Okay, friends, I'm only going to go for about 2 or 3 more minutes. Got to get a few things done before an early day at work tomorrow, including sending out some Canucks tickets to some people who bought from me tonight. And again, let me know. Oh, Mark, I just got your message. Thank you. Let me know, you guys, if you want tickets to the Canadiens game tomorrow night or any game coming up. Email me, canuckclay@gmail.com. We got the Shark Club. In your opinion, how do you think the Lions are going to do this year? I don't know. It's funny. I ran into Matt Baker, voice of the Lions and member of the Lions communications team, I think. Ran into him in Vegas, and he's even not sure how well the team's going to do this year. So we shall see. But I do like the Lions, but I haven't been following a lot of their offseason, to be honest with you. Kentaro Ramen on Denman. Yeah, that's good. That's not the closest to the arena, but that's good. Next game's tomorrow night against Montreal. Do you ever feel sleep deprived? Do I look like it, Jared? I'm not being sarcastic. Yeah, I pride myself on being a night owl. I pride myself on functioning both at night and at day at work, high functioning with only 5 or 6 hours sleep, but it's not smart. And when I go on vacation or when I have a chance to sleep, I have no problems falling asleep. I have no problems taking a nap. So I try and catch in some cat naps, some power naps once in a while, but I know I'm not going to go forever on these 6 hour, 5 hour nights, especially as a 50-year-old. Yeah, I know I was winding down already. Thank you, Rob, for always thanking me for a great stream. We should be able to win tomorrow. couple of other states that are trying to get an NHL team. That would make playoffs hard to do. Interesting. Who are those other states? Korean taco place. I am surprised about Sam Darnold, but big contract, 3 years, right? 3 years. Well, thank you, Jared. Korean taco place. Appreciate you, Clay. Love your positive energy. I feel, hey, Roberto, it's not a shtick. It's who I am. For better or for worse. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but if it's yours, I appreciate that. Thank you, Roberto. And you've always been my favorite player too. You know that. How hard has been adjusting to the hour less? No difference to me because we got up super early to catch a flight out of Kelowna. Fast food, fresh sliced sushi, and McDonald's. Mark, you know your food, man. You know your food. How do you know who's playing who during the playoffs? It basically, the way, Jessica, the league is set up now, they take the top 8 teams in each conference and they take at least 3 teams from each division. So just picture this. The easiest way to explain it, let's use the Western Conference, for example. You take the top 3 teams in the Central, the top 3 teams in the Pacific, and then you take the next 2 best teams. So it's either going to be 4 and 4, or it's going to be 5 and 3. So top 3 in the Central, top 3 in the Pacific, then the 7th or the next best team that's not in the top 3 of each. So technically, the weird thing is you could have a 4th place team in the Central, for instance, have more points than 3rd place team in the Pacific, but they won't unseat them. You have to have 3 Central, 3 Pacific. Then the next highest points, that's not one of those 6 teams, becomes wild card 1. And then the next team becomes wild card 2. So those are your 8 teams. And then whoever wild card 2 is, team number 8, they have to play against the best team and play in that division for the playoffs. And whoever wild card 1 is, they play against the other division winner and play in that division for the playoffs. So if the playoffs started today, Jessica, if the playoffs started today in the Pacific Division, we know that it's Vegas, Edmonton, and LA. Those are the top 3. Vegas, Edmonton, and LA. In the Central, it's Winnipeg, Dallas, and Colorado. Okay. And Winnipeg is 10 points up on Vegas. So let's presume that Winnipeg is going to be the highest point of the 2 division leaders. So wildcard 2, the worst of the 2 wildcard teams, will have to play the best division winner. So if Vancouver or Calgary, actually, this is a good example. Wildcard 1 is going to be Minnesota right now. And then they will play in the actually Pacific Division for the playoffs because they have to play against the worst of the division winners. So then the Pacific Division for the playoffs becomes Vegas versus Minnesota, Edmonton versus LA. Then the 2 winners play, and then that's your Pacific Division champion. Meanwhile, if Vancouver, Calgary, let's say Vancouver makes the playoffs as wild card 2, but Winnipeg is the best of the better than Vegas, then Vancouver's going to play in the Central Division for the playoffs. It'll be Winnipeg versus Vancouver, Dallas versus Colorado. So you could actually get, if Vancouver beat Winnipeg and then beat Dallas or Colorado, which would be very difficult, you could get a Vancouver-Vegas Western Conference final or a Vancouver-Edmonton Western Conference final. So remember, 3 teams from each division make it, and then 2 wildcard teams, and those wildcard teams are placed in the division that their first round matchup is against. I hope that made sense. CCC in its current form has an expiry date. Never. Why, you talking about being positive? Or did I say something else? Never. No expiry date on CCC. Although there will be an expiry date on this show, and that'll be like in 2 minutes. Houston, Texas, and Kansas City, Quebec City. Very good. This chat is a late night community that helps with loneliness. There we go, Jared. I'm here for you, brother. Kanji Noodle Place. No thanks. Clay with the gang signs. What did I do? Was I? Which league has the best championship series? I actually like it, the way NHL does it. NFL, though, they've expanded to like 14 teams, right? 7 on each side now. Texas and somewhere in California. Gotcha. You don't like the clock changing thing? Wuhan likes the way the World Series is done. Is there a Pacific team against the Lions? Not sure what you're asking, Simon. The gang comment was pretty funny. You're at the game Friday. I want someone to tell me the players don't care because they do care about making the playoffs. They're out there moving. Yes, that Friday night game was good. They played really well. And especially laying their body on the line, blocking shots, trying to preserve that win. I thought it was great. Good. I'm glad it worked for you. No, there won't be NFL teams in Canada. They might have an exhibition game here or there, but no, I don't think so. All right, Shannon, no problem. I'm going to head out now. Hi, Murray from New Zealand. Their job is demanding. You got it. Shannon, I'd love to know. I got about an hour's worth of work to do before I go to bed. I usually do about an hour or so after my streams. And I don't think we're going to re-sign Besser. And, we can't trade him now because why would a GM trade for him when they can just sign him as a free agent, right? Why give up assets unless it's a sign and trade? All right, friends, I am done. Moderators, thank you for keeping this a safe and respectful place. Members, that's legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Harry Mall, legendary Andrew Chang. Thanks for your support, as well as thanks to Hall of Fame franchise members as well. And thanks to all of you for watching, liking, and subscribing on your way out. You can like the video, you subscribe, you can leave a late donation. I appreciate it. I appreciate my sponsors, Vancity Experts Real Estate, Coach Patrick Glue, Weight Loss Coach. And thank you to Swervin Irvin, who made sure that we were not shut out. He got the donation train out of the station with his $7 donation. I appreciate you, Swervin Irvin. I hope that your dad does indeed get better. Don't forget, my next show is tomorrow night with Parker, Canucks After Dark, 10:15 after my bowling night, after the Canucks host the Montreal Canadiens. And speaking of which, if you're looking for tickets to that game, email me, canuckclay@gmail.com. I will set you up. Couldn't say it any better myself. Love you all, brothers and sisters. God bless you all. So as always, stay safe. Stay healthy. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Before I met Gail, I actually dated someone. I dated a woman that was actually a ghost. Yes, she was a ghost. I had my suspicions the moment she walked through the door. Through the door. God bless. And go Canucks go. Booyah.